Hey, shout out. Hey, let me do it like this. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, YouTube? What's good, Raider Nation? We're in the building once again, and we are here to listen to this press conference. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that came out, had some things they need to say, get some things off their chest, and we're going to talk about it, all right? Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. Why? Because I like you. And go ahead and subscribe. All right, it's completely free to do. We are on our way to 500 subscribers, and a lot of people that have been watching this have not been clicking that subscribe button. So quit playing with yourself. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All right, get it in. Join the congregation. It is completely free to do. And again, hey, it helps out the Raider Nation. All right, so definitely hit that subscribe button. All right, hey, we gonna get right into it because you know the press conference is here, and I wanted to check it out. You know what I'm saying? This is actually gonna be we're gonna break down each one. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Graham, Elandon Roberts, Jeremy Chinn, JPJ. You know what I'm saying? They had some things they had to say. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna give you the Raider Gospel. I'm gonna read in between the lines and let you know, hey, look out now. This is what they saying in between the lines. All right, I'm gonna give you all of that. So definitely, you do not want to miss none of that. So let's get right into it. And you might see me, you know what I'm saying, smacking on some popcorn. You know what I'm saying, because y'all know around here at Raider Twuan, when I got the popcorn, we've seen this movie before. All right, y'all know what it is. Besides the brown crackers, you know what I'm saying, sometimes I pull out the popcorn. All right, so you might see me pull out the popcorn, but we definitely gonna be talking about it. You guys go ahead and put your Raider Gospel down in the chat. I will be looking at it periodically throughout the live, so you will not be ignored. Unless you are talking crazy, and then the congregation will do what they need to do in regards to that. All right, I'm not going to do it. The congregation is going to do what they need to do in regards to that. And shout out to all my deacons in the building. Make sure you guys are sharing this out, and we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it going. Let's get it going. First, we gotta do a sound check. Let me know if you guys can hear.
All right, go ahead, question, coach. Patrick, you're mentioning your
Put a one in the chat if you hear. If you hear it.
Process like? I mean, anytime you get a chance to work with someone with that experience, that level of success, I couldn't be happier with the experience going on right now, just in terms of being able to bounce ideas off of them, hear different ways of doing things. It's been real beneficial for my growth, if I'm being selfish, which is something really good and positive for me. And then, again, the track record, why wouldn't you listen? You gotta listen. And it's been great. It's been great.
To that point, Pete specifically has had great success in the secondary with defensive backs and everything. Just what have you sharing thoughts with him on that aspect of the defense?
I'm being a sponge anytime he's talking to those guys. That's my personal experience with it, and you can see the energy he has, and the ability to teach the position and teach and coach the whole team. It's just been really a great situation for myself, for the players, the coaches. We're watching a master teacher working at his craft and seeing it live and in person. It's real beneficial for us.
So this is another offseason change for you guys. What went into that process for you of connecting with Pete Carroll once he got hired and then making your way back here?
The thing about the NFL, every season is a season of change, so we get accustomed to it. Each week is a week of change. So, I would say that, we're all used to something like that to a certain degree, but just working with Pete's been great. It's been great. Just the energy, talk about that, the football knowledge, learning from there, and just having somebody to be able to talk to about situational football, talk about defensive philosophy. It's been great for me. And that's me being selfish. Just talking about from my perspective, I couldn't be happier with the situation. It's been great.
Coach, what have you learned about the defense throughout OTAs? And kind of a two-part question, that one, but also what's the biggest thing you've learned from Pete Carroll so far?
So from the defense, they'll hate this answer, but we got a long way to go. But so do I as a defensive coordinator for 2025 season. So that's the benefit of the OTAs and the mini camps. You get to get out here. Football in June, you guys probably heard me saying that to the players. It's a great experience, and the situational football we're going through, that's been positive, and we're learning from it. And then just in terms of, Pete, I've said it enough already. It's been a great experience for me. It's been a great experience for me.
What have you seen out of Darian Porter in terms of like what he brings to the table skill set wise?
Obviously the length, that's a positive right there. The speed, that's all stuff that's documented. The thing that I see the most that sticks out to me is the combination of his effort and his ability to correct mistakes. So when you have a rookie player coming in first time in the NFL, if you can see the effort, him getting on the same page with how we play, our play style, that's a positive there. And then if you can eliminate the repeat mistakes, you're on the way to becoming a dependable football player.
Patrick, Christian is working his way back, but what can you say about your group of defensive tackles so far?
Love the group. The group has been, I think they spearhead them and the defensive ends. They spearhead the message about effort in terms of you see those guys running around. I know you haven't been at every practice, but they're running around after doing a tough individual with Robbie and his crew over there. So that's been the most positive thing that I could talk about right here without getting into any specifics, but the effort and how they play, the play style, how their play style, the relentlessness they play with, and then on top of that, the bond they build off the field. I'm again old linebacker coach, old D-line coach, but if I ever need to pick me up, I go sit in the room. Go sit in the room and just listen to them bond and how they communicate. It's pretty cool.
Patrick, what are you hoping Darren White can have for defense?
I'm always hoping for good football players to play good football. So that's the simple answer. But his experience is a positive. I would say that his flexibility for the position, he's played all over the field before. He's been productive both in the run and the pass game in different ways, whether it's blitzing, whether it's covering people, whether it's manipulating the front. So it's always a positive to have a good football player. It's always a positive to have a smart football player. And then you put on top of that experience, I just hope it all comes to fruition once we get going.
Jakarian was somebody that was playing at a pretty high level, and injuries hit him, kind of interrupted what was moving in the right direction. How has he kind of responded so far this time of year, and what's the next step for him?
You have to ask him specifically all the ins and outs of it. But for me, coming out here every day, working hard, the speed's not going to go anywhere. You can see the physicality. In terms of him building his body back up, you can see where he's at with that just when he's walking around. But then the next step for him is just to keep improving. Again, still a young player. I don't have the number of games on hand right now, but it probably doesn't even amount to a full season yet based on injury history, what happened with the injuries last year. But just keep improving, because at that position, once you get some more experience, see all the releases, understand the situational football, is all going to help them be better later on.
You've seen 3 regimes in 3 seasons, and obviously there were optimistic moments in each of those 3 seasons, especially this time of the year. But what just feels different about the energy in the room right now?
Each season's so different, Each season's so different. Every season there's 32 teams that have great optimism about the season. So the thing I can say about the 25 Raiders, we're having fun out there. We're learning how to practice, at a high level. We're in the vision of how Pete wants it. So again, there's no certain feeling or anything, because the seasons are always different. But I just know that this group of men right here, they're forming a bond. They're understanding how it's based on relationships here. And the biggest thing that we have to focus on right now is not real true football, but we got to play with great effort. Great effort, communication, get our fundamentals down. So that's usually stuff we talk about every season. So.
A lot of new faces on the linebacker core as well. And Elandon Roberts, a veteran of the game, of course. What does he help bring to kind of help stabilize that group as you've seen so much changeover with him?
E-Rob will joke about it. It seems like I've never coached him, but it seems like I coached him. He said, Pat, you've never coached me, but it seems like you coach me because we have so many mutual, connections in the NFL. So that's been real positive. I love talking football with them. We could sit over there, whether it's on the sideline, it's on the sideline. Can't say in the office. So rules. But like it's been great just talking football with them, and that position is critical for me to be able to speak to them. I don't want them to be coaches, but for us to have a great understanding, because usually that's the spot with the green dot.
Coach, can you talk about bringing in Jeremy Chinn and what he's provided to the safety room, but also kind of Isaiah and him stepping up and kind of taking on that role kind of from last year as well?
Starts off, I would say, with Jeremy, the leadership. I don't know if you guys got a chance to talk to him, but just in terms of his leadership, he's very sure of himself because he puts in the work. That self-confidence comes from preparation. It's not a self-esteem thing or self-talk thing. When you're prepared, you have that you're really, really confident. That's what I see from him. And he's been a sponge in terms of learning how we want to do things. And then all the physical attributes, but all 32 teams know about that. The speed, the size, the physicality, the ability to tackle, nose for the ball. So, it's all been positive there.
In terms of collaborating with Pete and this new regime, what would you say is the identity of Raiders defense this year?
Well, it starts with our effort. I hate. It's one thing I've learned from Coach is to make sure simplify the message. And just keep giving it to him. So, it doesn't have to be 20 code words or 20 buzzwords or some big paragraph or anything. We got to play with great effort. We're building the foundation for being a physical team. We got to play smart, So those are the things in terms of what we want the defense to look like. And then, make the offense earn it. No easy plays. You got to take away seams. You got to take away posts. Can't let them run the ball around the edge. Again, it's not real football in terms of the run game yet, but we have to have an understanding of that's what we're trying not to give up,
Two more, Paul and Q.
Patrick, you've obviously seen a lot of regime change here since you've been here as a coach on the staff, but there's also been nothing but continuity with you as a defensive coordinator. How key then is continuity for you in terms of getting that effort, but also ultimately having success defensively?
The continuity thing, I keep telling you guys, each season is so different. You take a step back, you evaluate yourself, me personally, like what did I do, what can I do better, what was good. Then you look at the defense and see what was good, what was bad. Then you got to look within the league and see what the trends are. Because if you don't stay ahead of it, you get in trouble. So, it's important. You have to ask the players, maybe they care, but we start over every year. So that's a big part of it. But, regardless, the other 31 teams don't care what our feelings are about continuity or whatever. So we got to get on the same page, and that's why we spend all this time in the office. That's why we spend this time out in the field. So we got to get on the same page. Everybody's got to understand what the vision of Coach, how Coach wants this team to be run, and our play style and everything, and we got to go from there.
Coach, you mentioned kind of learning from Coach and seeing his philosophy. Does this help you get a little bit even more creative defensively and be able to call a little bit more, make it get a little more exotic?
You got to look at my career. I've been blessed just with the people I've been able to work with, whether it's from Josh to AP, working with Flo, working with Coach Belichick, Spags. I got a lot of football up in this brain. Now, I can't pour all that out to these guys in terms of all that scheme, but, then on top of that, you put Pete Carroll, and, a football junkie who doesn't have habits, doesn't have any, I do have habits, doesn't have any hobbies, I couldn't ask for more. All right, thank you.
All right, that was Patrick Graham, you know what I'm saying? And look, Patrick Graham is out there cooking some stuff, and if you ain't looking and paying attention, it's going to go right over your head. Now, this is something that I think we need to really look at and pay attention to. First key thing he said is that the defense is not there yet. Okay? Now, some people, you think about, that's, he's just saying that because they're in OTAs and they're not, the complete product. And that there is some validity there. But when you look at this roster, right? Everybody last year was talking about, one thing we can say for sure is that Patrick Graham is a good defensive coach. He can coach defense. I'm not saying he's the best. I'm not saying he's the greatest in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? The hottest defensive coordinator. He's not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's all that. But he's a good defensive coach. Okay? He knows what he's doing. And he deals with what he has. And I think this is a situation where last year and I'll throw myself under the bus. I was excited because I was looking at, okay, Patrick Graham comes in. Last year we were hurt. We were banged up on the D line. You know what I'm saying? That kind of made our defense, you know what I'm saying, go the way that it went. You know what I'm saying? Our secondary, you know what I'm saying, corner wise really wasn't the best. You know what I'm saying? And we were making it happen still. And I was like, okay, there's something about bringing these guys back, right? And I'm talking about bringing these guys back. I'm talking about bringing back Merrick. I'm talking about bringing back Splain and all the other guys, right? Because they all know what Patrick Graham likes, right? They all know what to do when Patrick Graham calls something, right? And when you do something, like best way I can explain it, right? Someone stays in the system for a long period of time, there's just certain things that are almost like drinking water. Okay? It just becomes second nature. Okay? So now we're in a situation where with Patrick Graham where he has to teach it all over again. Teach it all over again. Example. Who in our linebacking group is qualified to break down what Patrick Graham wants? You can't say Eichenberg, you can't say Gaynor. Because they're barely trying to figure it out. Safeties. Pal Mal was the third string, you know what I'm saying? Third place safety. It was Merrick and Epps that were making the calls. And then when Epps got hurt, it was Merrick making the calls. Who in our corner room? You can't say JB because obviously on this depth chart, JB is a second stringer. So when he's saying we're not there yet, he's on point. Because he has a whole new group that he has to teach. Not only what he likes, but now there's Pete Carroll in there. And Pete Carroll has his opinions. Now, I still haven't figured this part out yet. And Voltron, the Raider Voltron itself, still hasn't figured it out. Okay? So there's no need to go, you know what I'm saying, go ask Sanjeet, no need to ask Mitchell Renz, no need to ask. I can keep going down the list. Because they don't even know if Patrick Graham is really going to run his defense. So there's a whole lot of question marks in which how this defense is going to run. Versus what we thought was going to happen this upcoming year is that, we're going to bring the band back. Everybody's going to know what they need to do. And all we're going to do is just build, bringing guys to bolster the back end of our defense. That wasn't the case. Ultimately, we're bringing in replacements and backups. So Patrick Graham is telling y'all, hey, get ready, because we're not on level. What year Patrick Graham is in? I think year 3. Year 3, year 4, we're not on level 3 or 4. We're back at level 1. And I'm not saying that as a completely bad thing. It could be a good thing, right? But don't expect for this defense just to be off running, because there's some new bodies in there. And not saying those new bodies ain't talented, because I do like Jeremy Chinn. I do like Elandon Roberts, and we'll talk about those, later on in this live. But, that connection, that those years of, I know what he wants, I know what he likes, I know if he calls this, I know what he's also telling me subliminally. That ain't there right now. Because you don't look, just really look at our defense. There's nobody in the core of our defense outside of our D line, which pretty much our D line is just you rush, right? Stop the run, rush, contain. You break it down in that way, but linebacker is a whole new relationship. Pal Mal ain't the leader of the safeties. So he's not the one that's going to be, really communicating with Patrick Graham. It's going to be Chinn. And it's even showing itself in OTAs. It's already been saying that Jeremy Chinn has been the vocal guy on the back end of our defense. And Palomal. So, Patrick Graham has some things he needs to figure out. Some clarity things that need to take place. And ultimately, we'll see how it goes. It's early. Not saying, oh yeah, this season's a wrap. I'm not saying that. But the expectation can't be as if we're bringing the band back together. Okay? And I like Patrick Graham. My hope for Patrick Graham is that Pete Carroll lets Patrick Graham cook. Because I've seen Patrick Graham work with our starters and how we looked with our starters. And I've also seen how he dealt with how bad our depth was when we were banged up. And still somewhat kept it together. For the most part. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? If you're on a mobile, all you got to do is double tap the screen. Appreciate you guys doing that. We're going to move on to the next press conference here.
What's up, everybody? Y'all good?
Elandon Roberts.
I got Elandon Roberts. Ready to go?
Biggest thing you've learned about this team and about your group specifically over the last few weeks of OTAs?
Just the biggest thing about the team is basically, man, it's a lot of coaching. The standard is there, but it just can't be talked about. You got to come in every day, and you got to win the day. You can't try to come in and be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And I think Pete is doing a very good job, instilling that in us every day, and everyone is hearing it, not just the vets, but the young guys, the coaching staff, everyone in the building, we take it one day at a time, and it's just like a football game, man. You got to take it one play at a time, or you get to be looking too far ahead or worried about the last play, and you can't focus on what's in front of you, and that's what we try to do every day we come in the building.
Talk about there being a lot of culture here. What do you believe you are trying to add to this culture? You or Devin or any of the new guys coming in, what do you think is your job to add?
Man, I'm just trying to do my job. When I look at myself in the mirror, man, I definitely see a leader. I definitely see a person. I'm real hard on myself, you know, and I think that adds value to the younger guys and even myself, because if I'm always thinking about being an example and not being the person that you're looking at and using for example, you know, I'm gonna always be where I need to be and stuff like that. And, you know, man, these young guys really push me. They really push me, especially at the where I'm at in my career. And I enjoy it, man. And I definitely enjoy the vets. You know, Devin has been a joy. You know, every day. You know, we're competing. We're trying to get each other better. Tommy Eichenberg is doing a great job in our room, and then our coach, man, JG, he brings the juice every day. You know, I feel very, very excited about our room, especially the leader that's in it. You know, even though player win games, coaches put you in position to do what you need to do, and I feel like JG is doing a tremendous job in our room. You know what I'm saying? Especially with it still being a younger group.
You mentioned on Max's podcast that you feel like a young dude, that you got that young energy. What is it that's giving you that young juice?
Oh yeah, I'm still young. I don't play like that. You know, I tell them all the time. You know, they get to running, we doing our little drills. I get out, you know, and they be like, okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm still, you know, don't do that, don't do that. You know, but man, it just, and look at this, man. Look at this facility. Look at Nevada. You know, and I wake up every day. I'm looking at mountains and the sun out, and you're just feeling good, man. I wouldn't say in my other spots it wasn't, you know, it didn't feel enjoyable to go to work. But when you actually see it, you know, you actually feel it. You come in the building every day, and Pete, 70-something years old, man, and you know what I'm saying, he first one in, last one out. He always pumped, ready to go. Why not match that energy? Who am I to say, man, I'm tired? Pete 70 something. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And he bring the juice every day. You know, and it's kind of like, okay. Like, you know, and it just, you ever, you know what I'm saying, at your desk and you just feel energy and you just look back trying to figure out who that was. You know what I'm saying? You can feel that shit. And it's a great feeling.
Rob, you've worked in the past with Mike Tomlin and Bill Belichick. What similarities, what differences do you see with them and Coach Carroll now a couple of weeks into OTAs?
Yeah, I think every coach have their differences, you know, and I'm not here to compare because they're great coaches in their own lane. You know, Bill is great in his lane, Pete is great in his lane, and Mike T is great in his, and they all been champions. You know, I think the one thing that do make them all the same is they all been there. And they all have held that Lombardi, so they know what it takes and stuff like that. But like I say, man, Pete is in his own lane. Pete is leading in his own way. And with his energy, his desire, his standard, you know what I'm saying, it's like, hey, get on this train. Because if you're not on this train, you know what I'm saying, we're going to find somebody else to do it. And it just is what it is. And in this league, man, this is a competitive league and stuff like that. And all 32 teams got the same goal, and that's to hold that Lombardi. And if I feel like me personally, if I come in here one day and feeling sorry for how hot it is outside or what we have to do today, I'm just cheating the process. Because if I'm not every day in here with the mindset of leading my room, being that leader on defense, being the green dot, bringing the juice every day to make sure that we at the standard that we need to be at, then I'm just cheating the process. And that's one thing that I harp myself in every day I wake up. You know what I'm saying? Once I hit them doors, I'm like, let's go. You're going to think like, dang, this motherfucker don't get tired. But I changed once I got to the door.
Patrick was just saying that even though he hadn't coached you before, that it seems like you're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
You kind of know what each other's thinking without talking. What ways have you seen that come across?
It's kind of crazy. It's like growing up in the same household, but in a different generation. But the household didn't change, you know, it's kind of the same. So, like, when he talked, like, I'm just kind of zoned in on him. I spent a lot of time with PG, you know, and stuff like that. You know, we only get a certain amount of time in the building, and shoot, I'm trying to pull up on PG at his house and everything. Like, hey, let's talk a little ball, you know, because we only get so much time in the building, but you know, just knowing how PG came about and his pedigree and his philosophy behind the game. I just know, like, it's never a dull moment. I can't text him and just or pull up on him or just ask him, man, let's talk ball, because I know, man. I'm telling you, PG the type of guy, he wake up in the morning, he think about football. He can be eating something, he thinking about football. He can be watching what's it, AFL? He can be watching them play, he just start calling plays. So, oh, I hear I do this, because he's that locked in, you know, and stuff like that, man. He's a great coach, you know. He probably even better person, man. And he's a man of integrity, but at the same time, when it comes to this football, he's not cheating the process and stuff like that. And I love just being around that. And like I said, you know, just knowing where he started, you know, I can kind of talk his language. I can feel where he's coming from with certain things. I can kind of, you know, beat him to the punch on certain things, not trying to, but I'm just like, hey, you know, like to do this, or if we see this, I know you called this, but would you like to get it to that type stuff? And he said, nah, hold off on it right now, it may be too much. And I'm like, okay, but he know, like, hey, I'm seeing where you're going with it, just from us kind of being in the same system and similarities. And he got new obviously he didn't create his own type of schematics around defense, but he's still pulling from them same type of trees, and he's just blending them all together.
At this stage of your career, why is it important for you to take it that extra level where you want to pull up, like you said, at his house to talk football? Why at this stage of your career are you still invested that deeply?
Because every day matters. I ain't getting no younger. I might be out there moving like I'm young. I might look, you know, but I ain't getting no younger, you know. And the older you get, the more you start appreciating day in and day out, because you know I can't get that time back and stuff like that. And I'm in the business of saying, not if I would have did this or if I would have did that. I'm in the business of now, no matter how I take it. And one thing I do know about leadership, just coming up as a young, but leadership is lonely. I promise it's lonely. But at the end of the day, the loneliness ends when you holding that Lombardi at the end of the day. Because everybody you push, including yourself, you strain your family, you strain your coaches, you just always want the extra to just make sure. And people might get tired of you. But one thing I know, when you holding that Lombardi, they're gonna come up to you and say, I appreciate that. And that's all I want. That's all I want. I don't want any fame behind it. I don't want nothing. I want all my teammates to be able to feel that. I want Vegas to be able to feel that and stuff like that. And it starts in practice. And yeah, we get up here and we talk about it with y'all, but we gotta bring it every day to that practice field. And I feel like that's what people is doing for us.
You talk so highly of PG. I feel like you missed him by 1 year in New England, 1 year in Miami. Like, is it
every year, man. If I didn't want to get fined, I would have tell you how I really feel. But he was running from me, you know. You know, put a little two letters in front of it, but he was running from me. I got here, I say, God damn, it's about time. What's up? What's up, man? You know, he laughed and stuff. Like, golly, man, running from me. I'm telling you.
If you would take a second to be selfish, at this point in your career, to be playing under Pete, to be playing in this regime and, you know, this era where everyone seems to be really bought in, how does that excite you, just the potential that you have for growth personally?
Oh, man, you know, it's not selfish. I feel like if I'm not coming in here every year trying to grow, then I'm just stuck in my ways. And this is an adapt or die business and stuff like that. And I'm always adapt. I'm always in tune and change, because these offensive coordinators in this league, they getting smarter and smarter, and they scheming it up every year better and better, even week to week. And you got to be able to adapt. You can't be stuck in your ways. And seeing new things and seeing just new concepts across the league. I mean, even Chip, man, I'm in the lab. I'm like, he would not get me tomorrow. Him and Gino would not get me. I'm just, but it's exciting. It's exciting and it's good. It feels good to be able to say, dang, man, the offense got us today. Like, we got to do this, we got to do that, because you get to winning and you think this, you think that. No, I like the back and forth because it's competition and it's fun for me and stuff like that. So to answer your question, I definitely, every time I come in, I'm still trying to learn. I'm still trying to think about how offensive coordinators are looking at certain situations, what type of situations they're trying to put us in and stuff like that, because it don't just make me a better football player, it's making me a better communicator to be able to communicate to my defense about the situations that we might get put in, so that, yeah, it's not me making the play, but Lonnie might be able to jump a route, or Chinn might be able to jump a route, or Max, he may just not even, without getting a sack. I'm like, hey, quick game. He got to get his hand up, back the ball down. So we all went in it down just off communication. It might not be me making the play, but it's the Raiders getting off the field. So we can give our offense another opportunity to get on the field.
What is What is that challenge like? You mentioned Chip Kelly, and he ain't gonna get me. What is that like going against that offense every day?
It's a challenge. It's a challenge. I don't want to put it out there, because we still gotta compete. I'm telling you, other teams be looking at this. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna put it out there, but no, they doing their thing on that side of the ball. Trust me.
You're being brought in as a culture setter, and Max Crosby has long been like the heart and soul of this franchise and the leader in that locker room.
And he still is.
Still is. And just working with him hands-on now, like, what has that been like?
It's been great. It's been great. And you just said all the things that he is, and me, what I appreciate most about Max is when I got here, and even us talking day to day, he's like, E-Rob, I want you to lead. I want you to do this. He's embracing me, and I'm telling him, hey, so we're embracing each other, and he don't feel like I'm stepping on his toes. I don't feel like I'm stepping on, and vice versa. And you just see like a true competitor, and the guy that's saying, look, man, I want to win, and stuff like that. I don't care about the individual goal. I care about the team goals, and that's just the type of guy he is. And I'm enjoying it, and like I said, this is just the infatuation stage right now, OTAs, new group, new coaches, and stuff like that. At the end of the day, we still got to get out there, and we got to compete. But we're going to continue to take it one phase at a time. Right now, we're in the OTA phase. Then we got mini camp. Then obviously training camp. Then it's time to play real football and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Hey, that was Elandon Roberts. Hey, look. I like the presser. I like Elandon Roberts. To be honest with you, when he first came, I was like, man, we got a question mark here. And I think as long, this press conference, along with what I saw on Max Crosby's podcast, it made me go back and look at him on tape again. And I think we got something there. I'm not saying that he's going to be, all pro. But I think he'll do exactly what we need him to do in the middle of our defense. And the leadership qualities that he has is there. You can see that and hear that in his press conference. Okay? Where he's trying to not only take advantage of what he can do in the facility, but he's also trying to figure out, hey, Patrick Graham, what you doing after work? Let me pull up on you and let's talk a little more. Because he has to know, again, like I was saying earlier with the Patrick Graham connections, they have to know the subliminals. He calls cover 2, but what's the subliminal message attached with that cover 2? Right? And fortunately, I think there's a benefit here because a lot of they talk about the coaching tree. Well, the playing tree is the same way. A lot of the stops that Patrick Graham made were the similar stops that Elandon Roberts made. Miami, the Patriots. Okay? So Elandon Roberts knows the defensively what was going on and cooking with the Patriots. He knows when Patrick Graham was over there under Brian Flores in Miami, how that cooked. Right? So when Patrick Graham's calling stuff, Elandon Roberts is like, oh, that's Miami. Oh, that's the Patriots. Oh, that's, you know what I'm saying? And he's starting to ask those questions like, hey, Are we gonna go to? You know what I'm saying? I know we're doing cover 2, but are we doing cover 2 Buzz? Are we gonna jump to Buzz? He's all we ain't there yet, but stay tuned. Okay? So that also helps the progression of our defense, even though Elandon Roberts is a new guy, that form still has to take place, but there's some benefits there to the connection. Okay? And Elandon Roberts is, like I said, I think he's going to do well for us in the middle of our defense. He's already connecting with the pieces that matter already, and that's a key thing for a middle linebacker. And also because he already considers himself to be a leader. You know, he said in the press conference, I see myself, when I wake up in the morning, I see myself a leader. So that's what I intend to do every day. Every morning I wake up and every time I get in that facility, despite how I really feel, I change my face and attitude. Why? Because I'm a leader. So, you know, Elandon Roberts has a lot to bring to the table. Hopefully these other guys can get along with his energy. And let's see where it goes. Hey, make sure you guys hit that like button. Double tap the screen. Okay? Double tap the screen. And subscribe. We're going to go ahead and move to the next one. If that's okay with y'all.
Alright, questions?
How you doing?
Jeremy Chinn.
So far.
The new what?
The new digs, as in Las Vegas, Raiders.
It's great. I'm having a great time out here. It's awesome. I mean, I'm getting used to the weather a little bit. It's hot, but it's cool.
What are your initial impressions of playing under Patrick Graham?
Great. I mean, it's very communicative. Just the way he wants us to understand why he calls things in certain situations. So, you know, that way it can be easier for the players on the field. You know, just like when we get in certain situations, just kind of know what he's thinking, and so we can all get in line.
Something he said just a couple minutes ago was the reason why you're so good is because you're so confident in your preparation and what you put in to, you know, being as good as you are. Can you just, you know, speak on the testament to that?
I appreciate that. But I mean, I think you are. You know, what you do, like how you do anything is how you do everything. So, like preparation is definitely a huge part of anything you do in life. But you know, football specifically, just the workload that goes into it, you know, physically and mentally. It's not something you can just show up and take care of business. So there's a lot of preparation that goes into it, and I take a lot of pride in that.
Your DB coaches told me the other day that they see you as like a chess piece. Like, how much pride do you take in your versatility?
A lot of it. You know, I feel like I can affect the game in a lot of ways, in a lot of different spots. You know, and this defense is allowing me to do that. So it's super exciting.
Biggest thing you've learned about this team throughout OTAs and then about your position group?
We have a lot of competitors. This team, you know, we're going to compete. Like, even today, just, you know, going back and forth with the offense and just competing against those guys, we're just going to make each other better. So, you know, it's great having a group of guys that can, you know, just iron sharpen iron.
How have you felt about the level of communication between this unit so far and how everybody's kind of developing together and learning the little nuances that each other has?
Yeah, I think it's been improving a lot every single day as we continue to get to know each other and just how we can communicate to certain guys and just get the best out of them. Like I said, it's just been improving every single day. So as long as we continue to make steps, I think we'll get to where we want to be.
You've had a lot of versatility throughout the course of your career. You're able to move around different spots. What goes into that background of being versatile like that?
I think it started really early on in my career, my rookie season. You know, just being in a situation where, you know, I was asked to do a lot of certain things. It kind of made my mindset like this is the life of the NFL. Like there's going to be a lot of different roles, a lot of different responsibilities. So I just kind of took that and rode with it for the rest of my career.
Who kind of stood out to you on either side of the ball so far? Who stood out to you?
89. Brock, you know, he's a special player. I think Jency's been running really well as well. Jacoby, he runs really good routes. He challenges us, and Gino,
There's sometimes he'll throw a ball and just be like, "There's not too much you can do about that."
On the defensive side of the ball, is there a teammate that has caught your eye that you probably didn't know of before you came to Vegas, and now that you're like, hey, he can ball?
I'm not gonna say that I didn't know of him, but I mean, just E-Rob working with Elandon. He's helped our defense, so far a whole lot. Just his confidence in the huddle, and kind of just his leadership, what he's expecting of certain guys, and in certain times, certain situations in practice. Isaiah, pull him out. He's been great as well. He's been very communicative, and he showed his leadership as well. So those are just two examples, but yeah, I mean, there's plenty more just around the defense as a whole. Max, of course.
Pete Carroll made it very clear when he got here, this is not a rebuild. They want to win now, right? And they want a quick turnaround. You saw that firsthand last year with your former team. So that experience, being able to bring that to the table in this locker room, now how important is that?
I mean, it's great because, like you said, I've seen it. Last season being in Washington. I mean, it's obviously a different team, a different place, different situation, but. I've seen what it takes to be able to just kind of have that immediate turnaround. And I think it starts with the guys in the locker room. And I truly believe we have the right people in our locker room.
Was there something you saw last year, around this time last year with Washington, that nobody else saw? You guys knew in the locker room, hey, we're better than people think. Was there something you saw that maybe is similar here?
The veteran leadership, for sure. Guys like Max, guys like Elandon, guys like myself. So just having guys, I really haven't seen. I've seen from afar, really on the offensive side of the ball. But just having guys like I just mentioned, I think it starts there.
You've seen that Darian Porter thus far.
He's been playing really well. He's got great technique. He's playing more confident. So it's cool to see. Every time you can see a young guy just kind of come in like out of college and just feel like he understands it. It's pretty cool. So. I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to the table.
I know you came from another historic franchise, but what does it mean just to wear the silver and black, just knowing the lore behind the Raiders?
Yeah, it's great. One, this organization and fan base is one of a kind. I experienced that a little bit when I went to Bakersfield, California for a signing, and just seeing the fans there, just the passion and how deeply rooted it is from Las Vegas to Oakland, all throughout the Bay Area. So. It's great. It's super special to be a part of. Now, I've always witnessed it from afar, but now being here, it's a blessing to be a part of.
Last year, you talked about having better offers, but wanting to be in Washington for leaving what they had, leaving Coach Twuan, all those things.
Yeah.
What was it about Las Vegas that you wanted to be a part of?
I was really excited for the opportunity to work with Coach Carroll. He was someone when I was coming out of college. I kind of thought maybe I was going to go to Seattle and kind of have a certain role there and be able to play, under Coach Carroll. But, obviously paths go different ways, and, I'm grateful for the path that I had and the path that I've taken. But having this opportunity now and being able to talk to him and during that process, it was kind of a no-brainer for me.
Jeremy, are you asking Coach Carroll, what did Cam Chancellor do in this? What did Earl Thomas do in this? And,
I don't really ask about specific guys or specific plays, but I see it all the time. They've shared it, and I grew up watching those guys, so I kind of know how they went about certain things, on the field, at least on Sundays. I didn't get to see the behind the scenes all the time, but even working with Bobby Wagner last year, I was able to ask a lot about some of the guys that he played with in the Legion of Boom.
What is it about Pete Carroll that makes you want to buy in, that makes him such a great leader, and has he been as advertised?
Yeah, better than. But his energy, it's contagious. It's real. And just the belief that he has and his guys, the belief that he has in me, it only builds my confidence up and ultimately my ability to go out there and succeed.
Considering the secondary is still pretty young, especially that safety room, what's the biggest thing, as a veteran leader that you try to preach to these guys every day?
Consistency, and the game is about the ball at the end of the day.
All good, guys?
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That's Jeremy Chinn, safety. And, with Jeremy Chinn, I think again, you have a veteran on the back end of that defense. I think he has some things um, that I like, definitely, that he brings to the table. I think along with that, he's highlighted some guys, right? They asked him, "Hey, what you thinking? About the guys on the field?" And he said the first name he said was, you know, um, 89. And we know 89 is Brock Bowers. You know, um, the energy, that we've seen so far, from these new guys, the Elandon Roberts, the Jeremy Chinn, it has something to it. It has something to it. You know what I'm saying? And you guys can have your Raider Gospel on it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all for it. Again, you guys go ahead and let me know your Raider Gospel in the comment section, because I will be going and looking at what you guys got for these guys. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's Patrick Graham, whether it's Elandon Roberts, Jeremy Chinn, then we got one more, and that's Jackson Powers Johnson. So, the other thing about Jeremy Chinn, as you guys are hitting that like button, the other thing that I noticed from Jeremy Chinn is that, he said he wanted to be working with Pete Carroll. That was one of the things that, during free agency motivated him to come over to the Raiders. And that he envisioned himself doing things for Pete Carroll. Then they asked the question, the typical question, did you ask, Pete Carroll, Cam Chancellor or and he said no. And I like that question. I like that answer. And the answer lets me know that yes, he envisions himself in the Seahawks defense, but he's not trying to be Earl Thomas or Cam Chancellor. He intends to be Jeremy Chinn in that defense and believes that he fits well in the system. Hence the reason why we see Jeremy Chinn with the Raiders. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what Jeremy Chinn does. Not to be an Earl Thomas or a Cam Chancellor, but to be himself, which is the best thing to do and the best way to be in this defense. All right, let's keep it moving and grooving to the next presser, JPJ.
How you doing? Doing good. It's good to see you guys.
It's your second go around being a part of these OTAs here in Las Vegas, but with this new Carroll regime, now it's really starting to get going. And what is your impression of this new staff?
I think the whole team's in a developmental mindset. I mean, it's been awesome. We've been flying around, having fun. I mean, this is the most fun I've had in football since I was a little kid, and it's super exciting. I mean, we're competing, and we're going out there and playing football, so can't complain.
Jackson, how excited are you to block for Ashton Genty this season?
Super excited. I mean, you saw all the videos. Like, that's not scripted. I'm not that great of an actor. But, no, he's awesome. He's been doing so good. All the hype is real. And I'm super excited to block for him, man. Maybe get some celebrations. He's a great TikTok dancer, so maybe get my hips loosened up a little bit. So.
Last season you started at a few different positions. How helpful has it been to be able to really lock in on center so far?
Yeah, very helpful. I mean, you get to see everything from every angle. You can translate a lot of things from guard to center, and it's been great. And I think these coaches have been doing a great job of, putting people in uncomfortable situations and situations they haven't been there before. And then I think the experience of me playing multiple positions has helped me with that here at OTAs.
What makes Geno Smith such a different quarterback compared to any other one that you've been blocking?
So much experience. I mean, I call him an old man every day, but he's got so much fire and like so much youth to him, and the knowledge of the game, how he does it, the passion he does it with. It's second to none, and I've had such a fun time being able to snap to him and be able to block for him.
There's been a lot of talk about the energy that Pete Carroll brings to this team. Like, what would you say about him and your observations so far to that energy and how it's helped the team?
I mean, I think everybody sees it. Like I said, like, we're having the funnest time in football that we've ever had, and that starts with him. Like, there's basketball hoops all around the facility, and when we're ever done, he's shooting around. Like, he's having fun, and if you want to have a team who has a lot of fun on what they do every single day, it has to start at the top, and he has fun every single day. He brings the juice. He doesn't have a bad day, and it's infectious energy that it's really been put onto us.
You mentioned the basketball hoops. What other things does Pete do to kind of embrace that culture of competition throughout the facility and at practice?
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, we do little competitions, like we'll do jump balls. We did like a little like walk on or like walk marathon thing, and we did like try to kick field goals. We did a little bit of cornhole. I mean, he's just mixing it up and always competing in something. So, but we do a lot of shoot offs, so that's fun.
Jackson, it feels like you want to be a leader, that comes naturally to you. As a young player, what's the process of trying to find that fine line between kind of being respectful, being a young player, but also wanting to lead? And do you feel like that's coming naturally to you in year two now?
No, I think it starts with doing everything right all the time, and I've had a lot of great mentorship in that. I've been with Max all off season and seeing how he handles things and trying to mimic that as much as possible. And I also got vets in the room with Alex Kappa and Colton Miller. So seeing how they lead, seeing how they go, just trying to replicate that. And then being into my second year, like trying to find my place and where that is, but just being myself. I mean, one thing is I'm not going to change who I am. I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to be running around, screaming, yelling, hollering. So, leading by play and leading by energy and love of the game.
How has the offensive line done so far, just as you're learning Chip Kelly's system?
I think everyone's doing great. Like as I said, developmental mindset. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I've been in a couple of offenses in my time, but it's super fun. It's super great. And like me being an Oregon guy, getting to run a little bit of old Oregon fires me up a little bit. So it's been awesome.
How's it been working so far with Brandon Carroll, a fellow Pac-12 guy, and also Coach Dickerson in the new offensive mindset?
Yeah, only thing I don't like about BC is he was at Washington. But other than that, no, he's been honestly so amazing. I mean, these coaches are awesome. They bring the juice and bring the fire every single day. Like, I'm excited to go into work every day and be able to be coached by them. And I think they're helping me out so much. This kind of really been one of my best off seasons I've had, just because how much they're coaching, how much detail, and how much their infectious attitude's been impressed on us. So.
What excites you most about the offense this season and how it's all coming together early?
I mean, the speed and the guys we've added and kind of the mentality around it too. I mean, and we've talked about Genty, we've talked about, Dante Thornton's another huge one. Everyone's talking about him. I recruited him to Oregon, so I'll take a little bit of that. But he's a baller. I mean, you look at Betch, you look at everyone coming back, Tobes, with Geno. I mean, speed, and then go back to Genty with running the ball. I think we have a lot of, speed running around, but I think we also have a lot of power. And it's just a lot of new, exciting things and a lot of weapons that we can go have fun with.
What's Gino brought to the offense?
I mean, a lot of experience and a lot of calmness. Like you need somebody at the helm that's been through it a lot and who knows what to do. I think that's huge. He knows what to do, and he's teaching all of us, and he knows almost every position, and it's crazy. Like he can give like props to the left tackle. He can talk to a receiver. He can talk to a tight end. Like when you're out there in those situations, it's calming to know that I'm playing with somebody who's been through it so many times. So
bond and friendships are just so important for an offensive line unit.
Yep.
You know, Colton and Andre were friends since the Oakland days.
Yep.
Now you're here, and you and Colton are viewed as the leaders of this offensive line. How has your chemistry and relationship grown with Colton?
Oh yeah, I mean, I love Colton. He's been awesome. Like ever since I've been here, he's really mentored me. Like I bought his mom's house. He's awesome. How he handles things in his routine is second to none. I was so happy to play next to him last year and be able to help him out because guard tackle, you guys are playing together. So being able to play with him got me super close to him, and then being able to be around him off the field, meeting his girlfriend, having my fiance and his girlfriend talk and really connect off the field's been awesome.
Jackson, at this stage of the game, when it comes to the offensive line, obviously you don't have pads on, you're not getting physical. That's where you guys make your hay. But what's most important for you guys all as a unit right now?
I mean, getting the playbook down and getting the continuity and just really being on the same page. Like right now, you can treat every rep as a Super Bowl rep, and you can try and mock that, but you also gotta be sure to know that everybody knows what they're going to do. And that's what the offseason for, and that's what OTAs are for.
So what's different is what's asked of the offensive line in this system than before?
I mean, there's a lot put on us. Like, you got to run the ball to be able to win the game, and that's been impressed on us every single day. And I think we're taking a lot of pride into that. Like we've seen the stats where we're the worst rushing team in the NFL. I see it as an opportunity. Good. So opportunity to get those numbers up, and also put a lot of the responsibility on the team on the offensive line.
Jackson, a lot is made from about how players jump from year one to year two. Where have you gotten better at this offseason?
Yeah, I've hammered down a routine. I've lost 10 to 15 pounds. Faster, I'm stronger. I'm getting a lot better at technique. I got to throw a lot of that on the coaches. They've been absolutely amazing, as I said. So getting a real off season at center is huge. I mean, you kind of go back to my college years. I really never had a real off season at center. I was always playing 5 or 6 different positions. So being able to really hone on one has been awesome. So I think I'm going to make a great jump. I'm going to give it as best I got and have some fun.
We've seen from Caleb and Charles so far, the rookies that the Raiders drafted, and how important is it to you as well to potentially be a mentor, somebody that helps them out?
Yeah, no, those guys are awesome. I mean, the rookies are great. That's kind of funny to say the rookies. I feel like I'm still kind of a rookie. No, they've been awesome. They've done everything that's been asked of them. They're here early. They're doing everything that they need to do, and I think they're doing a great job of finding people to, learn under. And I've done the best I could. I've had them over at my house a couple of times doing laundry, cooking meat, trying to learn on the Traeger. I mean, I'm only 22, but I'm still trying to hone those skills in. So maybe that's another off-season goal.
One more, guys.
But yeah, so they've been awesome.
Any progress on getting a burger named after you in town?
So I got a burger named after me. It's at Barcode Burgers. It's called the Big Jack's Burger. I brought it to Vegas. It's super good. You guys should go try it. So yeah.
Thanks, Jackson.
Thank you.
For that putt yesterday.
That putt yesterday? Oh, okay. I got to talk about this. Another little golf league. I started off pretty bad. I shot over 110. Wasn't good. Didn't have a great performance. Came back to Southern Highlands. Shot in the 80s. That's more my sweet spot. But we went and played the Summit, which, by the way, beautiful course. Didn't play great, but I played great team golf. Had 2 putts that kind of put us into overtime. Had a putt that kind of snuck it in and got it right. So I think that's kind of the biggest challenge this offseason is getting better at golf. So thank you guys so much.
All right, there goes JPJ. You know what I'm saying? The center of the Las Vegas Raiders. Um, you know, I JPJ is a guy that I've always been kind of high on. Um, and I think what sticks out to me even more about his press conference is this. This is actually his first off season that he can commit to center. And I've said this about multiple players, and this is my Raider Gospel just in general. Anytime you have a rookie coming into the NFL trying to figure out this NFL game, because the college game is not the NFL game, the best thing you can do for the development of that player is to put him in one spot. Don't have him going left. Don't have him playing right. Don't, you know what I'm saying? If he's a left tackle, let him stick over there to the left tackle. Don't have him trying to play right. And then, okay, let's see if he can play guard. Like, no. Figure out what position you want him to play and stick to it. And a lot of people coming into this season, we're talking about, oh, JPJ should go back to guard. You know what I'm saying? He plays good at guard. He's good at guard, whatever, right? And I was like, no. No. For that reason. Because when you start playing him at guard, then you start playing him at center, then you start playing him at guard, then he doesn't have. Where's he focusing his energy? Right? I'm gonna mess up the saying, but the master of many or whatever. Good at everything, master of none, or whatever it is. We don't need that. So it's best. Again, I would have been fine if he was if it's a guard situation. If we're like, okay, JPJ is going to be our guard and we're going to stick him right here at guard and that's what he's going to be. Cool. But don't have him bouncing around. There's a benefit, you guys, when it comes to the development of a rookie saying, hey, you're going to be center and all you're going to do is work on being a center. You're going to work on yourself, but you're also going to work on these nose guards that you're going to be, you're going to build your library on these nose guards that you're going to be going against week to week. In the AFC West alone, there's 3 guys primarily that he'll be facing. But if you put him at guard, now he has to build a whole nother library for 3 more guys just in the AFC West alone. So instead of focusing on 3 guys, now he's worried about 6. Because he doesn't know if he's going to play guard or if he's going to be center. If you keep bouncing them back and forth. So, I like that JPJ is staying at center. That's where I would like for him to be. You know what I'm saying? Quarterbacks hate when there's pressure right up the middle. And I think JPJ can do the job. So there isn't pressure up the middle. At center. But also, he has a whole offseason to develop his center ability so that he can be the center that we really want him to be on this offensive line. You know, he talked about himself losing weight. Now, I don't know how that's going to play out. You know, I don't know. You know, I liked how he played with the way he was. But if it's going to give him an edge, hey, why not? He did say he got a little faster and a little stronger. But we shall see. Again, actions are better than words, right? But I like, again, the biggest fact for me is that he's going to commit to being the center and perfecting that. You know, there was benefits to having somebody like a Rodney Hudson in the middle of our O-line. Didn't have much to worry about with Rodney Hudson at center. That could be similar to what we have with JPJ. And I liked how he played as a rookie. But just imagine how he can get better in his second year. How he can get better in his second year. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about these guys. I think there is some question marks again with Patrick Graham. Is Patrick Graham really going to be allowed to cook this season? Or is going to be Pete Carroll telling Patrick Graham, you know what I'm saying, Boston Patrick Graham around? Which he has the right to because he's a head coach. But, you know, I think it would be beneficial to allow Patrick Graham just to cook with the talent that we have. Because let's be honest, for the past 3-4 years, Patrick Graham is what kept this team together. Patrick Graham, you know what I'm saying? Defense kept us in games, even though we lost a lot of games. It still kept us in games. And like they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You can add to it, but don't fix it. And that's my Raider Gospel. Hey, now I'm going to get into the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Things going to look a little different. I'm going to have to pick up the phone and really look down at you guys and shout you guys out before we do what we need to do. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Double tap the screen. Okay? We're on a mobile set, so all you got to do is double tap the screen. If you're on a mobile device, if you're on a laptop, you definitely got to click the like button. Rob Pena, good to see you. I'm shouting out everybody. Raider Paul, good to see you, my guy. Matthew Smith, thanks for coming in. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Douglas Goody, good to see you. Up for review, JT. Good to see you. Detroit God is in the building. Detroit God. Nutty Raider Nate, my dude, my guy. Blessings to you, man. The official, and I mean the official, legal services of the Raider Twuan and the congregation Circus Raider in the building. Cool Cat, my dude, in the building. Good to see you, my guy. Blessings to you on today. Yes, sir. I see Circus got a whole lot to say, so we definitely gonna get into it. You know what I'm saying? Rob Pena, hey, look, I ain't got the clicker, but you know, Raiders, you know what it is, dog. You know what it is. Raider Paul. Yeah, I ain't singing the Lava Chicken song. I don't even know what that is, dog. You want to check with me later. Daniel Barry Sports is in the building. Good to see you. Happy Saturday to you. And we are back. Hey, look, hey, I'm trying to figure. And we are back. Hey, look, hey, I'm trying to figure all this stuff out. Y'all know what it is. Let me see what Circus is talking about. Salute chat gang. I know we all agree that Swat 6 should be unemployed for not trading all future first rounders for Quinn years. Hey, hey, we ain't. Hey, look, Quinn Ewers. Hey, look, I don't know about that, Circus. You on your own with that one. I'm not. Look, that's your Raider Gospel. That ain't mine though. I'm glad Quentin Ewers went another way though. I think we good with Gino. And then I think probably in about a year or two, then we can get our franchise guy so he can sit behind Gino. And then when Gino, lets it go, we can go ahead and be ready to cook. You feel me? Hey, Circus, I'm gonna read your comment, but this is so funny. I woke up. Well, actually, last night I was looking at some highlights, and I was looking at Jeremy Chinn, and that's what I said. You know what I'm saying? But let me go ahead and read your comment just to give you some respect on that. Circus Raider said, just to spread awareness, I will be annoying AF, okay? AF, y'all know what that is. Whenever Jeremy Chinn makes a play, okay? Chin checked, okay? Chin checked will be spammed in every chat. Laugh out loud. Hey, look. Hey, if Jeremy Chinn blasts somebody, chin check, interception, chin check, deflection, chin check. You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? Not only will you be spamming that, but Circus, I will be on lives talking about chin check. All right? And for sure, shout out to the official, and I mean the official legal services of the Raider Twuan and the congregation, Circus and Associates. Okay. If you ever need some legal services, holla at Circus and Associates. Okay. I am Raider Twuan, and I approve that message. See, somebody clip that up. Somebody clip that up and send it to me. All right, hey, look, I didn't want to be on here too long. I want to just go through the press conference. You guys let me know down in the comment section your feelings on this press conference. Let me know about the players that were talking on this press conference, including Patrick Graham. You guys know here at Raider Twuan, we are advocates for being an organ donor. That is always in the description of all my videos and all my lives. So look at the information, check it out, see if that's something you can do. Definitely, it is something everybody can do. So I please sign up to be an organ donor. Also, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button here at Raider Twuan. We are on a road to 500 subscribers. I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway when we get there, so stay tuned for that. And all you got to do is just free. Hit that like button and also subscribe. Okay? Stay tuned for make sure you hit that notification bell, because I do go live at random. So, there is a schedule, but it's not completely all the way, ironed out. So hit that notification bell so you know when Raider Twuan is going live, and you can go ahead and join the congregation. Okay? Simple as that. Also, if you guys are interested in being a financial blessing to the channel, that is also in the description of all my videos and all my lives. And also, if you are live and watching this, it is also in the chat as we speak. Here at Raider Twuan, we are also advocates for prayer. So if you need prayer for you or your family members, hit me up on IG at TwuanTwuan, TWUAN, TWUAN. Okay, that is also down in the description of all my lives and all my videos. So don't be afraid, don't be scared, don't be ashamed. If you need prayer for something, it could be somebody is sick and you just need my family's sick. I need you to pray for my grandma, whatever it is. Praying for a job. You know what I'm saying? You might be in between a job, looking for a job and needing a job and trying to find the right job, and you just need a little extra help. You know what I'm saying? Let me know, and I'll be in prayer for your job. And again, like I say all the time, when it comes to prayer, the way that I do things is your business is between me, you, and the Lord. I don't put your business out there in the street. You don't have to worry about me running and telling people information about you that you don't want me to share. You know what I'm saying? If you're telling me, hey, my grandma's sick, can you pray for me? That's as far as it's going to go. I'm not going to go tell someone else, hey, his grandma's sick. You know what I'm saying? I believe that's your business to let other people know. Unless you want me to let people know, you know what I'm saying, then I will do so. But again, your business is between me, you, and the Lord. I don't put your business out there in the street. So you don't have to worry about any of that with me. So definitely, you guys. Hey, thank you guys for coming in. Stay tuned. I will be back with you guys maybe later on this weekend. Or you might see me, definitely you'll see me next week. Okay? So hit that like button, subscribe, get it going, get it popping. And remember, you're a blessing. Be a blessing to someone else. And let's go, Raiders.